Yeah.
I'll clap.
Way.
Ding, bing bong.
Shut up, Alex.
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Here's a Thought. Today we are going to be discussing both physical and mental disabilities. I am Ash.
I'm
Ace.
I am Tegan.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Alex.
We've got some new people on the mic today who have finally decided to speak up. Tegan is no longer just a voice. Tegan is now a person, everyone.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. For all our viewers who are listening in, someone named Barry's just walked in the room. He came in really late. So we were going to start the episode after this had happened, but that just happened. So yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Should we? Yeah. Before we go on a tangent that we have in the past 2 episodes, shall we? Walk of shame. Walk of shame. There we go. Oh, nice to see you, Barry. Right. So let's go on to the actual episode, shall we? So mental and physical disabilities. I think everyone on the table has one or both. Yeah, I'm getting nods.
Yep.
One or both. So we're kind of just going to go through some like anecdotes and just like what it's like to kind of be a teenager in 2021, especially with the pandemic. That definitely put a damper on a lot of people. I know it did certainly for me. But shall we get started cracking with mental disabilities or just like illnesses, if that's how you want to put it? So yeah. So I'm going to start with a quick little story I've got. Quite recently, I got a call back from the GP. And they were saying, we're going to revoke all of your prescriptions because your diagnosis has expired. So, yeah, I know. What? I got a phone call from my GP going, so basically all of the things that I was diagnosed with about 4 or 5 years ago, apparently they expire. I didn't know about you guys. Last time I checked, diagnoses didn't expire. Can we get a fact check on that? Because last time I checked, I don't think they did. But, so we're riding that roller coaster, which was quite honestly.
I didn't check your best before.
I think I should have gotten some cards that kind of yeah. I think I should have got some best before dates that kind of said this thing expires on. Like, please throw out by. Please throw out by. But yeah. Isn't? They don't expire. Thank you. We've just got.
Okay, that's good.
Fact check. They don't expire, so my GP needs to get her license revoked and re-prescribed. My license new. Yeah, but anyone else got any stories? Amusing or not amusing?
Well, it's not really an illness, but
Yeah.
my dad normally calls me a wonder because I forget to do things.
Fair. Yeah.
I know.
Forgetness.
Yeah. Is it just me or do you do the thing where you walk into a room, forget why you're there and leave? Go into another room and you're like, oh, I need to go into that room now.
There's actually a theory for that. It's called the doorway effect, funnily enough.
Oh yeah, how convenient.
As if the scientists couldn't think, actually they probably forgot what they were going to call it. They're like, we forgot what it is. You know what?
The doorway.
The doorway.
Well, I normally walk into a room, I'm like, what am I going to do? I forgot what I was going to do. And then I remember like half an hour later, I'm like, I was supposed to do that like a minute ago.
Yeah.
Now I'm in trouble.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah.
I also do the thing, it might just be me because I'm an absolute idiot, I'll be on the phone and I'm like, you need to write this down. I'm like, okay, let me get my phone. Where's my phone? I spend 5 minutes patting myself down, looking around the room and going, my phone is in my hand. I'm on the phone to someone and I'm looking for my phone.
That's actually what I do.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Me too.
It's the horrible thing because then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I need to just find my phone, and then I think the person on the other line's like, what are you calling from your fridge? Like the person on the other line's like, what are you calling from then?
It's a Samsung Smart.
Yeah, I'm calling from my Samsung Smart fridge. Yeah, but I don't know if that's just me, but I do that a lot, and I feel like a right idiot.
Yeah. Anyone else got other stories?
Yeah.
Alex, Charlie, anyone?
Any stories or just moments that you've gone, wow, I agree with my diagnosis right now?
Well, it's not. I don't know if you can class it as a moment, really. But at one point, I had a go at my friend for not responding to me after I had a whole ass conversation in my head where I thought he was.
So you had a conversation with yourself and then got angry at someone that isn't telepathic?
Yeah, I was just like, oi. What?
And they're like,
And he
what?
looked at me and
You didn't say anything.
He's like, oi. What?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. I do that quite a bit actually. I have dreams where I'm arguing with someone and wake up mad at that person. They're like, what did I do to you? And I'm like, you didn't actually do anything. I just want to be mad at you for some reason that I can't actually like emotionally like verbalize.
You did to me.
You did it to me in my dreams, so I'm mad at you because of it. But yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah.
I have autism.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and I used to
So-
get bullied for it.
Oh, yeah. No, why is the people hate autistic
Yeah.
people so much?
Oh yeah, I used to be
What did we do? Is it because
Yeah.
we're smarter than them?
Yeah.
Who's
Yes.
because we're smarter?
A funny fact,
we
yeah, he used to
think
cry at the school a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What's it
Oh my
now?
god,
We
I
think
actually
different.
did.
Yeah, I think we just think very differently. We have
Well,
a lot-
actually, I was bullied as well, like quite a lot.
I don't know why
point where I
people
just
just
gave
hate
up.
Like,
that.
as where the like neurotypical people will see in black and white, you've got people who are neurodivergent.
We
who
taste colours.
and apparently links according to the last episode.
Leave it alone. I can think of the word. Oh, yeah,
But
yeah, we
yeah,
can-
so basically we just see different ways and
Yeah.
we think differently.
Yeah.
But I suppose, seeing as most of us on the table are neurodivergent, should we talk about special interests? And can't remember the word for it. Oh my god, what's the word for it? Yeah,
Huh?
Theoretically.
talk about kind of special interests because I know quite a few. I don't want to sound very stereotypical, but I have a friend who is an autistic guy. He's obsessed with trains, and I love it because I will see a train, he will list like the exact factory number of that train. I'm like, wow,
That's
that
actually
is-
quite cool.
Yeah, has anyone
Yeah.
got any? Has anyone got any cool special interests? No.
I don't know if mine counts as a special. I don't know if mine counts as a special interest, but climbing would be one.
That's fair.
For some reason, there is always this really competitive side of me. So when my
Like
friend
rock climbing or just scaling a wall?
scaling true,
Just full Spider-Man
just
it.
scaling building. Like
Yeah.
if I see someone and my friends go, I bet you can't climb that.
You
I'll
do
be
it.
like, give me,
Don't-
give me
don't
just-
bet me
I'll just go.
anything.
Give me 5 minutes.
give me 5 minutes and some rope and I'll be up there.
I don't even
Watch.
need a
I don't even need a rope. Just get up.
I'll find a way. I'll be like,
Yeah.
I think everyone's going with
drainage
this,
system.
right?
From Spider-Man.
Right.
I think everyone's going with this that I like singing. I'm quite addicted to it.
Yeah, theatre probably for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we should talk about struggle, like disadvantages and advantages, if that's how you want to put it. So kind of like the more positive side to being a neurodivergent and kind of having those kind of mental and physical ordeals and kind of the negative and positive side of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we discussed bullying, which has got to be like a big disadvantage, especially people with like autism and people who are like Asperger's and things like that. Because I know I had loads of bullying in my middle school because I just didn't do any, like, you had those kids that would like, I don't know how to put it, I was the kind of kid that just sat in the corner and didn't socialise because I just didn't, I didn't like it, I didn't want to be near so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think every kind of neurodivergent kid kind of had that little bit of time where they was like, nope, they just sit and go, nope.
Nope.
Yeah, because I know that I definitely had them. But obviously, does anyone else on the table have like sensory overloads and things like that with certain textures, like foods or clothing? Or
Yes,
Yeah?
I do.
Yeah.
yeah, let's hear them. What are they?
I can't have labels on my shirts or jumpers.
That's no, that.
Yeah,
that's
I
fair.
agree with that.
That's,
I
yeah,
get so
that's a pretty
itchy.
big one. Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
plaster.
Plaster. What is in like the actual like plasters for
Plaster
you?
on a wall.
Just plaster. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
Can't
Oh.
feel it.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I think mine is probably. I did a lot in the pandemic that's happened for me when shops started to reopen again. Certain hand sanitizer textures.
Oh,
I couldn't
God.
do like
Yes.
sticky hand sanitizer. Like there were really certain ones that my mum would have to test for me. I'd be going to a shop and she'd test the hand sanitizer. I go, you won't like this. Just use mine. And I always now carry my own hand sanitizer. I've had for about 3 years the same hand sanitizer because I can't do certain shop ones. And the same with certain foods like bananas. Can't do the texture. I don't know why. I just can't.
See, similar to me, like tomatoes. I cannot stand. Well, I can have sun-dried tomatoes because I
Yeah.
expect it because they're dried, they're not thingy.
Yeah.
But it's the thing from biting to the tomato. It's just like
It's similar to grapes. I can't have mushy grapes. I can only have like solid grapes.
I
Yeah.
can't even have solid
That's-
tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's the inside of the tomato that
That's
I hate.
fair.
It's the
Yeah.
sort of from biting an apple
And it just going
and,
runny.
and then it goes.
I think it's I think it's the fact that you trust it outside because you can like hold it and it doesn't melt, and you bite into it like why just why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one thing I can't stand is like when you go to the beach, you get really dry. You go back in the sea again, you come
Sand.
out and there's dry sand all over you.
Sand, don't do
Oh,
sand. I have
hate
literally.
it.
We went on a beach holiday. Well, my parents did that to me. I have no idea. We went on a beach holiday for a week, and we stayed like on a cabin on the beach, and I didn't leave the cabin 5 days because I refused to go on the sand. I was about 7 or 8 at the time, and I refused to go on the beach. They were like, "Get on the sand." I was like, "No." I would just stand there and go, "No," and I would sit. I was probably the palest out of everyone because I just sat and just went, "No." I just sat there for like a good 8 hours a day in the shelter, just going, "No, I'm not doing it," because I just didn't like sand in general.
Yeah.
But yeah. But let alone wet sand, I would actually cry if someone just handed me a bag of wet sand and wouldn't touch it.
Merry Christmas.
Literally, no. I do scouting a lot, so I do scouting, and I'm an explorer. And we had to do a badge for like fighting our fears. And I regret telling them I didn't like the texture of sand, because they said, your challenge for the end of the week, we're going to get a bath of wet sand and you're going to sit in it. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I ended up skipping that entire week. And they never made me do it again, because I was on the verge of tears when they told me. Right. I feel like we should move on to physical. So this can come in any form. Obviously, I know there is some autistic people, like highly autistic people, that struggle with mobility and things like that. So has anyone got, even if it's family members or like, it doesn't have to be related to neurodivergency, like any like physical ailments that kind of both give us advantages and disadvantages in the day-to-day life?
My nephew does.
Yeah?
He has hypermobility.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I bet that, like, it's cool to say, but it must suck.
Yeah.
So I've got a friend who's got it, and I'm just like, at first, I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then she explained, I was like, oh, that does not sound cool at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it do? What does it feel like?
Feels just you just
wrong.
feel
Feels wrong. Oh, that's fair, yeah, no. I've got Oscar Schlotters in my joints, which means I've just got like loose fluid in like my kneecaps and my ankles. But then in the winter, oh my God, I love the winter, but I hate it because it means that my kneecaps freeze up. Like the liquid in them freeze up, which is then like I can't just move. Like, you know how you wake up and you're like, oh, you're stiff. I just cannot, like, if I pray to God I don't bend my legs in the middle of the night and go to sleep with them like that, because they are not straightening up in the morning. They are staying bent for the rest of the day. Like, I will just have to sit in a chair the whole day. Yeah, literally. I just have no chances of standing up. But yeah.
It's just like, you know, when you hold a pen, you have to hold it a certain way.
I hold my pen really weirdly until I've got like a potato lump. Okay. What was it like finding out we had autism? What was it like?
Oh.
I was diagnosed from a very young age.
Was it the vaccines? Was it the vaccines, eh?
Just legal reasons, this is a joke. This is
Definitely a joke. Definitely a joke.
But no, I don't know, like, it was when you're younger, you don't really understand, you're still a child, you're just playing around sort of everything, although apparently I was, you know, in a corner.
Doing nothing.
No, we had a rocking horse. I spent half the time on this really big rocking horse.
You just sat there on the rocking horse, just going, living your life.
And so then, like now I'm getting older, I think some of the things, because I tried to apply to the army actually.
They don't take autistic people, do
And
they?
No, they don't.
They don't take autistic people.
Oh,
Which means I'm saved, because my dad wanted me to go to the military. Then my diagnosis kind of saved me.
Yeah, like, I was
I
like,
don't have to do that now.
I was like, yeah, let's join the military. And
No,
then I'm
let's
like,
not.
And then like, oh, please take this. And I'm like, don't have that.
And I don't.
Asperger's. Right.
Right.
Due to medical reasons, we don't want you.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think I don't know if it's like a set, you hit like a certain criteria, but I don't know why. It's just that maybe they only want the manly, the tough men to fight in the war.
I've come up with a theory for it though, because I know a friend who has Asperger's. Like, I don't like saying it, but you have like the high functioning,
low functioning, yeah.
And my friend, he also has Asperger's, but on sort of, he takes prescribed medication.
Yeah, some people take medication for it.
Some people take medication.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to that, the army don't have like a right to prescribe.
Yeah, because they only have like certain liabilities for
yeah.
certain things to provide certain medication. Yeah. Because obviously when you're out in the field, you can't just go, oh, it's 3 o'clock, time to pop my autism meds. You don't really have the time for that in like the middle of a war, do you really? But I was diagnosed quite late actually, which made it really, really difficult to get diagnosed. Because a lot of the time they'll diagnose people quite young.
Yeah, they do.
Like my cousin, who's got quite severe autism, he was diagnosed when he was like 4, but it took me to the age of 12. So I've only been like diagnosed with autism for about 4 years. But it was really difficult. It took about 6 months just for someone to actually see me and do an evaluation on me. Yeah, but it's really difficult to kind of get anywhere because when you've got that diagnosis, it kind of lives with you. Like I found it really difficult to just get a job with autism on my my record because they were like, oh, they don't really want, especially in retail. Like it's really difficult. I ended up getting a job in retail, realizing why they didn't hire autistics and left because it's just a massive sensory overload. Like they'll have you handle certain. I had to handle certain textures that I nearly cried doing because I just couldn't do it. And then I immediately realised I shouldn't work in retail because it's just horrible. But what about you guys? Anything you want to share? Because you've been quite quiet over there.
Don't out.
We've had a lot of people on this podcast.
I had 2 jobs,
Okay.
and I got a load of complaints because of my autism. And I used to have arguments with the customers.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So
'cause
so I lost my jobs.
oh yeah, is it just me or do a lot of, it might just be me, a lot of autistic people kind of struggle to handle sarcasm and aggression.
Yeah.
Like, I can come off quite aggressive but can't take aggression myself. Like, I
Yeah.
can sound really sarcastic but not ever understand sarcasm. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's just me or is that you guys as well?
No,
Yeah.
it does affect you.
Yeah.
It, especially in like when I'm playing rugby, I'll try and be dead serious, which is why I don't be serious anymore, because I try and be dead serious, and they'll be like, "We can't tell if you're joking or being sarcastic now." I'm
Yeah.
like,
I just don't know.
I-
You don't know anymore.
just ignore me then.
Yeah. What about you guys over there? Have you had like similar situations with that?
Not really,
No? Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's just us two then, isn't it? But yeah, anything that you find that, like, because obviously everyone's different, especially when it's autistic people, everyone's different. What do you find that's quite specific about you with your, like, either mental or physical, like, ailments or things like that? Is there anything, like, specific to you that you go, oh, this isn't, like, a normal, like, Asperger's or neurodivergent thing, this is just me? Is there anything that you guys have?
I hope forgetting things is one.
That's fair,
forget
yeah.
things a
That's
lot.
fair, yeah.
Well, I don't know about others because I only know one other person who's my brother with Asperger's.
Yeah.
Very, very, very different type of autism.
Yeah.
But I've got a cutlery thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So in my house we have 2 different types of cutlery, nearly identical except the pattern on it.
Okay.
I cannot, repeat, absolutely cannot have the other type of cutlery.
Yeah, I have.
If I have one type of cutlery, I will not only put it away, I have like a crawl space I go to
Oh, yeah.
calm down and recollect myself.
I think a lot
I have
of.
to go straight there.
Yeah, you have to, yeah.
Yeah.
Similar to you, it's like cutlery. I kind of almost. It wasn't an argument with my nan, but it was similar to
Not
something.
arguments with you, isn't it?
It was a thing, and my nan, basically, I have this thing for small spoons.
Small
When
spoons?
Yeah, like
How big is spoon?
you know, like teaspoons.
Teaspoons?
Yeah, like teaspoons.
Teaspoons.
Anything that requires being eaten with a spoon has to be a teaspoon. I cannot
Oh, yeah,
stand.
teaspoon. What happens if you've got like a massive like tiramisu and you can only use like a tiny little dessert spoon?
I will
Would you
use.
just
I
still
will
use
still
the
use
teaspoon?
that. If like like one day my parents basically came out with we had bowl of soup and everything,
Oh no.
and they came out with a tablespoon. I full on got up, like took it up, dried it off, took it back to the kitchen, washed it up, and then washed one of the small spoons. I was like,
Your cake cutting at your wedding is going to be very slow.
well, no,
Pray to
it's
God
take
you
that-
just have
no, it's
pie and it
eat
doesn't take that long.
It's just eat, cutting, it's fine. Just bang.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's just like.
Yeah. Christmas is going to be a slow holiday for you, eh? Christmas dinner's going to take a while. But literally, yeah, the same at my house, a different cutlery. We have regular cutlery, and then I can't stand teeth scraping on cutlery, metal cutlery. Can't stand it. I will hit someone that does it. I actually hit my sister once doing it. We were at dinner. We don't have dining tables. We sit on the sofa and have like literal like fold-out tables. We were sat and we were having like I think it was stew and dumplings, and my sister took some. She scraped her mouth. I actually hit her on the shoulder. I went, stop it, because she was doing it on purpose. So I just hit her on the shoulder and went, stop it. And but yeah, I only eat with a set of purple plastic cutlery, and I have like 3 different forks, 3 different knives, 3 different spoons, and it's like the only thing that I will eat with. I even take it on holiday. Like I will use it to eat in like in the holiday restaurants on holiday. But yeah, we went to Spain and I packed my cutlery, and yeah, it was a disaster. But yeah. Anything else we want to get on the table? Kind of, I suppose, because you see a lot of stereotypes of autism and things like that on TV. Especially, I don't know if it's just me, but movies and TV stereotype autism and neurodivergency very plainly. Very, very plainly. And was it Sia's movie about autism? She casted a neurotypical person to play an autistic person.
Well, they did have a I remember reading that up. Sia did have a neurodivergent
person on set.
But
But she never cast them,
Well, they started to,
but they didn't.
but because they couldn't get to grips with everything like what they was asking this person to do.
Yeah.
They would pretty much ask. You can ask any like neurodivergent person if they need to be someone else. They'll find it. Depending on where you are, some people find it really easy to just because they're used to it. They can just change themselves
masking
for
quite,
other
yeah.
people.
Masking's quite, especially for me, I find masking quite easy in public, especially. But yeah, kind of having a neurodivergent person and we're going to do a neurodivergency movie, but we're not going to cast a neurodivergent person because we find them too difficult. It's pretty much Sia's excuse for that movie. But I find what's it called? Spencer Reid. What show is that? Criminal Minds?
No clue.
Oh no, yeah, but Criminal Minds. I think it's Criminal Minds, but a lot of kind of your NCIS and Criminal Minds and Grey's Anatomy and shows like that will have a very. They'll always have one character. Oh my god, what's it called? The Good Doctor. That's it. The Good Doctor.
Yeah.
The Good Doctor. Don't get me wrong. I love his character, but they don't need to play autism so basically and so stereotypically. Like I get it, he's autistic, but they've made it so because it's not always so visible. Like people will look at me and go, "Oh no, they don't look autistic," but I am. Like it's not a visible thing half the time. It can be for some people it isn't. And don't get me wrong, great show, but a lot of shows need to start doing it not as look at this character. Their whole personality is that they're autistic. They don't ever show the character's personality or their character arc or their growth. They just show the fact that they're autistic. And don't get me wrong, I love the representation, but sometimes it can be a bit too much.
Sometimes you can notice if people have autism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can,
But like every film, every sort of season, like I've recently been watching a new episode called Scorpion, which is basically a bunch of people who are really, really smart, but they all have forms of, one has like high OCD, like has to have it basically just shows them and how they struggle, which in a way is really good for like neurodivergent people because it kind of highlights how we struggle within a like neurotypical system, but then again, it's just stereotyping the main subject, like the main sort of most known.
Yeah, I think some directors and producers are a bit too nervous. They kind of tiptoe around it. They don't bother, like with Sia, they don't bother to do their research. They will just go, oh yeah, we'll just take what we know and we'll not bother to do any like research into the different kinds of autism. Because a lot of the time people will just take autism as like one thing. Like they'll see one autistic person and go, oh, that's what every autistic person must be like. Like I've got a half cousin named Cole, and when you put us together, we're very, very, very different neurodivergent people. Like his is so bad that he also suffers with epilepsy. So like we're very different people, but a lot of people don't see that. They see it as either low functioning or high functioning, but there's a massive spectrum of it. It's a huge spectrum. Because it can also come in tow with other things as well. It's not just autism. A lot of the time, autism can bring other things in like OCD and ADD and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to think my dad has OCD.
Yeah.
Why
Yes,
don't you?
everywhere tidy.
Yeah, I wish I had that. I've got the polar opposite. I think with my dad, polar opposite. But yeah, has everyone grew up in neurodivergent homes, or were you the sole neurodivergent in your like little household? I was also the special one. Yeah,
The special one.
The chosen one, if you will.
Yeah, but no, growing up and then it just comes like a thing. It's like I think growing up, it's just like you need to take your time with him. He's rather slow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not slow.
They describe you like you have the mental capacity of like a week-old infant.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the maturity of
An infant, but it's different. But yeah, I think I remember my mum telling me that I got kicked out of 3 different nurseries because none of them were trained in how to handle autistic meltdowns and sensory meltdowns. So they just chalked it up to that I was a really, really bad behaved child and kicked me out. So yeah, and I ended up just not going to nursery after that. And I was like, oh, fun. Nice to know that I had a rich childhood and a very enlightening childhood. But yeah.
Another thing that I want to point out from experience as well is how, the sort of younger children are treated, like especially as neurodivergents, because I think it is either lower school or like we also went up to like this before lower school, not nursery but not lower school. And I ended up getting the teachers from what I can remember. I had the nickname Harry Potter because when I was basically being having what they would like to call the tantrum or whatever.
An overload.
Like sensory overloads. I hate sound, or loud noises. Sorry.
Yeah.
They would lock me in a cupboard.
That's that why they called you Harry Potter.
That's why it's called Harry Potter. There was literally in a cupboard.
Surely that's illegal.
Well, it was, but you think as a 5-year-old, you think it as like that's what I'm saying. As a child, when you don't know, like when you're starting to come to the grasps of what's right and wrong,
You don't know any different.
You don't know any different.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what shaped me, is the fact that I had a very mixed household. Like my mum was a bit of a mollycoddler. She was very babying towards me growing up, but my dad was very like, because he's got quite a big family and he's the youngest, so he sees himself as a very like, he really wanted a boy. I think I'm halfway there. Jennifer, I think I'm halfway getting there. I think I'm almost there. But, you know, but he kind of, when I was diagnosed and I was going through all of my diagnosis and my prescriptions, he was like, we can't have my eldest being like this. They must take after my side of the family. And I was like, too bad. Too bad. I can't really stop that. sorry to disappoint. But we came home from my autism diagnosis and my mum told my dad, and it was the saddest look on his face. And he looked at me and I was like, sorry, I can't really do anything. But I was honestly quite giddy because I'm not a huge fan of his side of the family because they're a bit scary because they're just predominantly male, so it's quite intimidating considering my mum's side is mostly female. It's quite daunting, so I was kind of glad. Literally all sexist. Yeah. But yeah, did anyone else grow up in like a different sided household, or did we all have a lot of family members like that?
No, I sort of grew up similar to you. Sort of my mum sort of, oh, don't worry, he'll get there eventually. And then my stepdad's kind of like, all right, off you go.
Go on.
You'll do it eventually.
It's like getting shoved. It's like a baby bird getting pushed out the nest. Not gently. We got shoved. There was no gentle letdown. It was a shove.
No parachute.
No parachute. It was a shove. Yeah, because my parents thought it'd be great to put me into the free school because like, oh, lots of rules, and I was like, yeah, rules are all right. I'm not. When it comes to autism, people think I'm very rule orientated. I'm not. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll forget what I was supposed to do, and then I'll get to the time I was meant to do it and go, oh, fun. Like, especially in lockdown, where we had all the online work, I'd have a lot of essays and a lot of artwork due in, and it'd get to like 4 p.m, like, oh, school's over, and I've done nothing. Like, I'm not a very organised person, which kind of makes me feel a bit ashamed, because I feel like I should be a lot more organised being neurodivergent. But,
you shouldn't be. It's like neurodivergent is literally divergent.
It's divergent.
It's on a spectrum.
Yeah.
For me, especially when you mention lockdown, we didn't have to have our cameras on.
Oh, we did.
We didn't.
Lucky sod, we
so,
did.
Yeah, this is where the whole point of like getting things done and how relaxed I am about. We was in a GCSE meeting and like exams and everything.
Yeah.
We didn't have to have our cameras on, and I thought, I'm tired.
Gonna go to
Mute.
mute, sleeping. Yeah,
Followed by sleeping.
We had to be on mute, but we had to have our cameras on. It was a bit backwards. Did anyone else have anything over lockdown, especially with neurodivergency and things like that? Was lockdown any more difficult, or was it like, did you find it easier, if that makes sense?
I found it very hard because I had to go into school.
Oh, what? No, really?
Yeah.
Is it because your parents are both key workers, or did you just go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was old enough to be able to stay at home, but I don't think I could have done that.
Yeah, I always got into trouble.
Well, I'm just imagining with the people that had to go in over this lockdown, there wasn't as many people, so the teachers were probably a lot more critical because there wasn't as many people that they had to watch over. What about you two?
You go. It's fine, you go.
I would say it was a lot easier. There was no crowds anymore.
Yeah.
There was, and my house is very, because as I said, I have an autistic brother. Everything is
Autistic friendly.
Everything is how it should be.
Yeah.
Oh, lucky.
So it's just there was no problems.
That's good. That's good. How about you, Tegan?
I found it really hard as well because there's a lot of stuff that was happening in my family. Like, I lost one of my best friends. I lost my mum this year. And everything was just a bit confusing. I just wanted to give up.
Yeah, I think
It's very difficult.
I think lockdown kind of hit everyone differently. Yeah, I think
And it's just the fact that you just miss out on a load of GCSEs.
Yeah, I mean, I was very, very, very lucky to have not lost anyone. Like we were thinking that my great nan might have passed over COVID because she had just got into a care home, but we were so lucky that we didn't lose anyone, and I was so thankful because obviously we were still in school when it was all announced, and everyone was kind of like, this could be it. This could just be done. This could end everything. But then we're kind of, it's weird to come out the other side of it. I don't know if that's just me, but I felt really, really weird being like, I don't know what I'm feeling, because we came out of like that massive lockdown. We were like, oh, we didn't know if it was over or not, did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm reckoning we should wrap this episode up for now.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
This was Here's a Thought, episode 3. I'm Ash.
Nice.
I'm T. Good.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Alex.
Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
My ears hurt.